Hi, this is Enthusiastic Steve, and in this video I want to talk to you about C.B Radio, the forgotten flagship.
Very enthusiastic there, Steve, no problem. Yeah, you got Delboy here, 10 miles.
It was back in 2010, the radio manufacturer TTI developed a radio called the TTB R2000. Now, this is a multi-standard radio. It covers all the European CB allocations as well as the UK FM allocation here in the UK. All 40 channels on FM.
Hello Steve, here's Delta Kilo. My name is Rolf from West Germany. My city is Mönchengladbach. Okay, my friend, you have here the number 10 and radio 5.
TTI had aimed to release the radio in 2010 here in the UK, but for whatever reason it didn't actually hit the shelves here in the UK until about 2011. By then there were other radios out on the market, and to be honest, it must have been launched very quietly because I cannot recall myself seeing any adverts for this radio. I've never ever seen one in real life, and I've seen very few adverts advertising this particular model. TTI have been out there. TTI sell lots of CB radios across Europe and in the UK, but I've never seen this particular model. They didn't seem to continue it for that long. Now, information on this radio is a little bit sketchy. I just know that it came out in 2011 in the UK. It was their flagship model, so to speak. It was designed to run on either 12 or 24 volts out of the box. So ideal for truck drivers, etc., or mobile car, mobile car 12 volts, or home base as such. The radio was designed to fit into a DIN section on a radio in a car, so you could take out the old-fashioned tape recorder, radio cassette radio, and put the radio straight into the same hole. It would fit lovely into a truck and run straight off their 24 volt systems. So it would fit anywhere, even a home base. Now you can run this radio with a remote head, and this is the selling point of this radio. It comes with well, I'll run it on a green screen. It can be blue or red, but you get a lovely little square display, a separate head unit. We can run separate from the main body. So the body of the radio can actually be put under a seat. It doesn't have to go into the DIN socket on your fascia of your vehicle. It can go under a seat, and you've got a good meter, well, probably about 2 meters of cabling. So it gives you a lot of versatility with where you actually locate the actual head unit. Same with the headphone as well, and you also got the headphones. There's a headphone socket or external speaker socket on the front and the rear of the radio for convenience, and the actual microphone as well comes with a fair decent sized lead, and you can buy an extension if you need it as well. Now there is a remote control unit as such, which is like got a press to talk button on it. You can run a Vox microphone off the front or the back of the radio. All that comes with the kit, comes with the radio as well. No hidden extras. You don't have to buy anything else. So everything comes with it: microphone, power cable, Vox microphone, the detachable head, and the remote control to run it all. You can change the display color from the remote control. You can do many other things, enter all the menus, etc. And straight from the menus you can pick what country you want to work in, if it's legal in France, Germany, Poland, across Europe and UK FM as well. So very versatile little radio. Their flagship at the time.
Got that, mate. Got that lovely over. I would say Radio 4. But you know, the quality is BBC. So yeah, great that you're making a trip, mate. And lovely to talk to you. We're standing by. I'll put you back over to Delbo.
Aye, okay. Yeah, you came up there, Steve. Your signal came up on the last couple of overs there. I lost you guys for a couple of seconds, but they must have just swung back to us there because you were 5 and 7, 5 and 8 on the last over, but you.
A quick look back at the box will show you all the components you get with this radio. The main radio body, the remote control, the big LCD unit, and the microphone and the Vox microphone, all included in the box. On the rear of the box, it lists all the specifics of this particular radio. This radio puts out 4 watts on UK FM channels. For a size comparison, here is the main body of the radio, situated below my 40-channel York JCB. You will notice straight away that this has a front-facing speaker, absolutely ideal if you're going to mount it in a vehicle. Also on the front, the standard microphone connector. You've also got a mic plug, an auxiliary plug where you can plug in an MP3 player and play it through the speakers. You've also got the control unit and the LCD unit plugins. TTI did some forward thinking when they designed this radio by actually adding all the connections on the front also to the rear, apart from the main microphone, of course. If you decide to use an external speaker and you plug that in the rear of the radio, it will automatically turn off the internal speaker. This is controlled by the actual main setting in the main menus. The microphone that comes with the radio is a TTI branded one. It's got a very good feel to it. Not too heavy, definitely not too light. It's a substantial little microphone. It feels good in the hand. On the top there's 3 buttons which allow you to go up and down through the channels, enter the menu or lock the actual radio. Also in the box is a small clip-on Vox microphone. Ideal if you want hands-free operation in the car or lorry. This has a 3.5mm jack plug which can either again plug in the front or the rear of the main radio body. Here is a close-up view of the front of the radio, showing clearly where the mic plug plugs in. The auxiliary plug plugs in there next to it. Again, that's for an MP3, as I said. You've got the control unit and the LCD unit plugins. Again, all these are replicated on the rear of the radio. Also to note, on the rear of the radio, you have a 2.5mm jack plug socket. This is to fit an external signal meter if you so wish. So it's going to be a signal meter which is slightly better calibrated than your existing LCD one.
I don't know how you're picking up or not, so just go ahead and chat and I'll just sit on the side and we'll see if we can excite Del Boy. Anybody with YouTube, they could probably go on YouTube, find it.
One of 2 things that set this radio apart from others is the fact it's got a little control unit, like a little remote control, like a key fob to be honest. It is cable operated, it has to be plugged into the actual main body, either the front or the rear. But it actually acts as a PTT switch. You can change channels and you can enter the menu and you can also change the screen colour. This is the second reason this radio sets itself apart from other radios. It has a remote LCD display unit, which you can basically, mount almost anywhere. It has the obligatory on-off switch, a volume control, and a squelch, an auto squelch. Press button to enter a menu or an advanced menu, plus multiple other options as labelled along the bottom. It is a really clear display. And yes, it does come in the box with a very sturdy base to mount it on. Fully adjustable for tilt and turn, and a very large base plate which has an adhesive pad on the bottom so you can actually stick it to a dashboard or bench, desk, etc. Now for screen colours, there are 3 options available. A red one, a blue one, and a green one. For daytime viewing, my personal choice is the green screen. It really does give a nice sharp clear contrast.
Oh, you're cracking in you, honestly. I'm going to check inside my front door, see if you're sitting in a car out there, mate.
Now, I did mention that this radio has got multiple menus. There's lots of changes you can make within it. Here's just some examples up on the screen now of all the various options you can change. Again, the screen is very well defined and clear, no problems at all, and the contrast is adjustable.
Anyway, nice to talk to you lads, and really pleased that we're back into it.
But I got a very, very nice signal this moment from you. A very strong signal also. Santiago, 8 Santiago 9.
Crispness. Gestern was 1, gestern
So in conclusion then, what do I actually think about this radio? Personally, I like it. It's got so many positives. There's one or two negatives, one negative mainly, but positive wise, because you can actually separate it, you know, you can use the main body of the radio. I mean, here I've got the main body on a corner section on my desk, as you've seen. The actual display is nice and clear for me to use it on the desk, on another desk. You can move it around. In a car, a modern day cars, as you know, are renowned for not being able to put radio equipment in them very easily. This will allow you a bit more flexibility. For your van or truck, I can see it fitting really, really easily. The audio on it, I've got it plugged into an external speaker, but the audio coming through, the clarity is very good. I was very fortunate the day I plugged it all in for the first time. There was a lot of skip on 11 meters. What you've seen in the video so far, and I can probably play a couple more in a minute as well. But the audio coming through was really crisp. There's plenty of settings on the actual radio itself with the auto squelch or manual squelch, etc. You can change the colours and contrast, etc, etc. But it is a very good radio. The downside, it's not really a downside, it's a little bit of an annoyance, but it's the technology they use internally. There's a switching unit between receive and transmit. So every time the squelch opens, the audio comes out, you hear a relay switch inside the actual main body of the radio. There's a click. And that click, when you're sat here in the quiet, is fairly loud. And you can hear it and then you can hear it click off again. To be honest, I got used to that very quickly. I forgot it was clicking, but you can hear it working. In a car, in a different environment, you wouldn't even hear the click. If the radio is put under a seat or something like this, you wouldn't even hear the click. It's a minor little niggle, but other than that, the microphone itself, it feels good. The adjustment and the audio, everything feels nice and smooth. Why they didn't continue with this radio? Why they didn't convert it into a home base? The world has been crying out for a decent home base radio. This would have made a lovely home base variant. Absolutely fantastic. So TTI, if you're out there, just consider making a home base for the future, or any other manufacturers for that. Again, this is a unique radio. It's different. I've never seen one before, and I am enjoying using it, and it's a definite keeper. I've got this on my bench, and that's where I'm going to be using it for the foreseeable future. This has been an Enthusiastic Steve talking about the TTI TCB R2000 multi-standard radio with the detachable head unit. So everything comes in the box, screws, mounts, you name it. Even the head display has a lovely little mounted gimbaled base unit, which will with self-adhesive tapes, which will double-sided, which will stick to any dashboard. So they've thought of everything. This is the radio. Really pleased with it. Have you got one? Have you used one? I'd like to hear in your comments actually. Have you ever seen or ever used one of these radios? If you ever see one, try and pick one up. Highly recommended. This has been Enthusiastic Steve. Thank you very much for watching.
I can hear him coming back, not a problem. That other guy who was just talking a minute ago. Yeah, that'll be Mick in the Cotswolds. Give him a shout again. Operator Mick. I don't know his call sign, but it's just Mick in the Cotswolds, Roger. Yeah, not a problem. Mick, you copy 108 Delta Delta 142. My personal Z in there, Roger.